All right, and welcome back to today's Retirees with Certified Financial Planner Wayne Maslick of Great Lakes Benefits and Wealth Management. As we are coming up on the end of another year, Wayne, and we're talking about advisors and rating our your advisors. A couple of things that we want to talk about and we did mention it just briefly, but when you sit down with an advisor, what are some of the things that a person should be looking for in how they choose a good advisor?
Yeah, well, some folks, if they're kind of in the beginning processes of trying to weed out someone to work with, or maybe they're not happy with their current advisor, and even if they are, it's always good to get a second opinion if they are working with someone.
Sure.
Everything might seem hunky-dory, but when you hear someone else's point of view or the other side, they may bring up some things that you never thought about. I'm partial to the CFP designation, Certified Financial Planner. We have a responsibility to put the client's interest first as a certified financial planner. We don't have quotas to make. We don't have products that our companies or managers force us to use or recommend or, basically say this is what you're going to offer the client.
Right.
There's no ulterior motive other than to help that client achieve their objectives. So I'm partial to certified financial planners. There's not always one available, and there's not always one that you can mesh with. Someone may be a certified financial planner, but they're a jerk, or you don't trust them, or
Sure.
they're too far away, or whatever the case. But it's good to interview people and find out about their background, how they get into the business, how long have they been in the business, how long are they going to be in the business. Do they work for someone? Are they self-employed? Do they have family? Like in my case, I have 3 boys. I'm hoping one of them will, they're teenagers now, but will get into my line of work and I could pass the baton at some point. So you can check all that out. And of course, you want to know the person's knowledge.
Sure.
Do they have securities license? Do they get paid by commission? Do they get paid by a fee? These are all questions to ask, and they should all come out in the first meeting from the advisor themselves.
Sure.
The advisor should give you background on themselves if you want to hear about it. So it should be offered, but those are some of the questions I would ask if you're kind of brand new looking for someone.
Sure. And then what kind of questions are, as a certified financial planner, you're going to ask me, we talked about it just briefly at the beginning, but about what I'm looking for.
Yeah, and generally, I always ask folks when they come in, one of the first questions I ask is, what brought you in here today? Why are you here? Do you have certain concerns or issues that we need to work on? Is it a life-changing event? Are you retiring? Did you get an inheritance? Whatever the case, lawsuits, lottery, people come in for different reasons. Some are afraid of, hey, we're at market highs, we got ISIS and Ebola and all this stuff going on, gold prices are dropping, so they're worried. Everyone's in for a different reason. So once I find that out, I just do a general questionnaire the first meeting. And at the end of that, I can kind of tell folks generally if I see some issues or if there's some areas I feel I can help them with.
Sure.
If we both agree that there's going to be a second meeting, then that meeting, we kind of get a little more touchy-feely with how they want their retirement to be, how they want to take care of their kids, their grandkids. Are they concerned with taxes? Are they concerned with nursing home costs? We had a discussion off the air about nursing home costs, you and I here a little bit ago. So it's a big concern for a lot of people. But we start focusing on these things, and then once that meeting's over, then it's time for me to go to work and start putting together some recommendations and ideas and start teaching them about these different areas.
Sure. So when a person is you've put this time in, and you're not talking about, this isn't a 10-minute meeting.
No.
This takes time to put this together.
Yeah, and it's not monotonous either. Normally I like to hold my meetings to about an hour a shot. And it's a process if we're going to go through all of these items.
Right.
And what you'll find when people start looking for advisors, or if they've worked with someone in the past, these advisors, they're not interested in hour meetings and one right after another, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 meetings to help you get your house in order. They want you to make a decision.
Sure.
Hey, you going to work with me or not? Can I sell you this investment or not? They're not interested in my opinion, in really helping them get their house in order. They just want to make a transaction so they can get paid in a lot of cases.
Sure. Well, one of the great things that as I hear you talking and about a certified financial planner and Wayne Maslick and Great Lakes Benefits in particular, is taking the time, as we have had on the screen the word time, taking the time to know your client and his or her goals and concerns and fears.
And that's just the first step.
Okay.
We're going to get into some of the other steps. Like, our next step is the time the advisor takes to prep and prepare the recommendations and action plan for the client.
All right.
It's now, okay, so the guy's learned everything, or girl has learned everything about the potential client. Now what?
Right.
Do they just go into sales mode, or do they start putting together a action plan, a plan of action to help that client achieve the objectives that they shared?
All right. Well, when we come back, friends, we're going to talk more with Wayne about just that. What kind of action plan, and how does he go about putting together an action plan for your specific goals, needs, concerns, and fears? And that's what's great about what Wayne is doing, and that's why you should pick up the phone, 866-626-3990. Give Wayne's office a call. Now also, you can find Wayne at todaysretirees.com. All of this information, or much of this information, is available on that website. All of these videos that we have done are available there as well. We'll be back right after this.